Hello everyone, this is Dr. Fahim. Today we are going to discuss the synopsis writing. This is lecture 7 of Advanced Research Methodology. So, what is it, the synopsis? In order to clarify your thoughts about the purpose of your thesis and how you plan to reach your research goal, you should prepare a synopsis. Synopsis is a short, systematic outline of your proposed thesis made in preparation for your first meeting with your supervisor. It also serves to ensure that your supervisor gets a clear picture of your proposed methodology and allow him or her to spot whether there are a gap or things that you have not taken into account. Your synopsis will work as a kind of protocol for the further step you need to take to ensure that your thesis reaches the required academic level and that you finish on time. This is the structure of the synopsis. Although there are no rigid rule for how a synopsis look like, it depends on institution to institution or university to university that which of the section that required for the synopsis. So currently, as per the requirement, most of the institution have uses the following sections, in which first is title, second is abstract or summary of research, third is introduction, fourth is problem statement, fifth is research methodology, sixth is bibliography, or we can say your references, seventh is tentative timetable using Gantt chart. Firstly, we will discuss how to choose a title. This is the main focus of your synopsis, how you have to choose your title. The main purpose of the title is to draw people in and get them interested in what you have to say. The title should relate to your topic, where you do not use too many words. More preferable is that you have to include the keywords in the titles. Make sure that your title should not be too boring. It should attract the attention of the researcher. What is inside your paper? Because when any researcher have searched related to your topic in the Google Scholar or Google, firstly they just find out the title of your paper. With the attraction of your title, they open your paper. Otherwise, if they find that your title is not attractive, he or she will not open the following paper. So you should summarize all your work, effort and finding into one single title. Make sure that also your title should be informative as possible, even if seem a bit wordy. Second is that abstract or the summary of the research. In this section, we will include the overall introduction of your complete thesis. We also need to answer these 6 main questions while we writing abstract of your thesis, of your synopsis or your research paper. You should know that firstly, in first sentence or first 2 sentences, you need to include what the research is about, mean introduction or background or generalized introduction of your research. You need to include it in the first sentence of your abstract. Secondly, what question the research is answering, or what gap in previous research the present research fill. In second or third sentence, you need to include the what is the problem is it, and thirdly, you need to include what is the purpose or aim of this research, why the research was done. Fourthly, you need to include the research methodology where you need to answer how the research was done. In fifth section, you need to answer the question what the research found. In other words, you need to mention one sentence or two sentences regarding your results, what you find in your results. And finally, at the end, last sentence of your summary or your abstract, it will be the your outcomes. What will be the outcome of your research? Tell why the research your results are significant and what implication are maybe. Next section of the synopsis is writing introduction. The introduction contains brief background of your topic. In this section, you have set the stages by addressing the scientific background. How will your proposed research contribute to the existing body of knowledge? Use your own word and be as specific as possible. In first paragraph or first two paragraph, you have to include the very generalized view of the your research. Similar like this funnel is give the example. At first stage you have need to include generalized view, and second stage you need to explain the related work or existing work that are related to your research. Okay, where which areas which is more related to your area, because after that you need to explain the limitation of your related work, and after that you have later on at the end you have included the what are the achievement, like what you are going to propose in your research on this research. So your introduction should be more clear. Next is the problem statement, in which firstly we answer what do we already know. So we need to put a problem in context. Okay. Secondly, we need to answer what do we need to know. Like you have to include the limitation that your research will address. You need to include all the deficiencies, limitations, and issues in very precise way of the existing of your related work. That is your base model, your base study. Based on this study, you have to address your own research. Also show the relevance of the problem, in which we answer why do we need to know it. Finally, we have explained set the objective of the research, where we answer of the question is what will you do to find out. In other words, once you have to describe the limitation and relevance to your problem, after that you have to explain based on the limitation what you are going to propose. You have to write your own research objectives based on this limitation discussed in the previous paragraphs. Okay. Next is the write the method. In other words, we say that methodology. What is your methodology? This should be the easiest section to write, because this is your work, where you need to explain what type of study is best suited to support the action stated in the specific objective. What kind of data, qualitative or quantitative, will you study required? What is your study area? Who is your targeted group? Are there ethical consideration you have to make, etc.? Okay, where you have explained your framework, and after the overall framework you have presented your method, your algorithm or technique, how you are going to solve the issue. You must have to show your base model in your introduction or literature. In the methodology section you need to show that where is your contribution, which which feature you are going to add, where is your contributed part. You need to highlight it, that area where you have contributed or where your contribution is. Also, in the methodology section you also included the what are the evaluation criteria, how you have to evaluate your technique or algorithm or method or model, what are the evaluation parameters you have to discuss in the at the end of your methodology. Next section for the synopsis is the bibliography or references. So your synopsis must include proper citation for every source you have used, and full publication details should always be included in the reference list. To create citation quickly and easily, you can use free Mendeley Reference Manager, which we explained in our previous lecture. So you must have to use the referencing tool. It make your life easy, really. All the reference work cite in the synopsis must appear in a list of references that follow the formatting requirement of the institution or the university, because it depends on, maybe they are follow the APA method for the thesis write-up, or they are going to follow the IEEE method. It's all depend upon your institution to institution which format they are using for the bibliography or referencing or citation inside your work. Next is the tentative timetable using Gantt chart. So in Gantt chart you have mentioned that the rough timeline which showing up then on how your work will divide over time. What is your deadline for? Like here we explain different thesis activity like literature review, design research framework, proposal defense, research publication, journal publication. Until that you may have to publish a survey or review paper. After that you have, because until that you have written enough literature, better is that you must have to publish your literature. Okay, after that you have to implement your proposed method, that which one you have defended. After that you have tested the methodology. After the testing or you got the result, you must have to publish another journal paper. At the end you must have a time and for the write-up. With the publication you already got some write-up. That write-up you also included in your thesis, like firstly in your survey paper, that or this systematic literature review paper, that is a part of your chapter 2 or literature chapter. And the finally we have complete journal publication after testing. These are the different section you have included to the different chapter of your thesis. Also finally I want to summarize the overall the purpose of the synopsis. At the beginning of your thesis period, your synopsis will be limited in scope and detail, but as you work your way deeper into your topic and you get a clear picture of your objective, methods, and references, the more complete and detailed your synopsis will become. So at start, please don't be uh, 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 scared what is happening. You have no clear idea what you're going to do. Uh, my suggestion is that be cool, work more and more on your idea, on your research area, then you have got the clear picture what you going to do. Okay. Also, it is a rule of thumb is that the length of your synopsis can be vary from uh, uh, 2 to 5 pages, but precise length and exact requirement of your synopsis can vary from institute to institute, and also from supervisor to supervisor. It's also depend on your supervisor. You must have to include 10 to 20 citation in your references, in your synopsis. Um Minimum requirement 10 to 20, but uh, I suggest you have to include more citation that give you a more idea. Your supervisor will be more happy with you once he find your synopsis. Most study program will require that you present final synopsis before start the data collection. However, the first version of your synopsis for discussion with your supervisor should not be informal draft. Carefully perform work, create respect and motivation, and save a lot of you and your supervisor time. Okay, before meet with your supervisor, don't go with blank face and without anything and say that, oh, I cannot got any idea. Then why are you going to do a research if you have no idea? You should have enough material when you are visit to your supervisor. You should go with your synopsis what you want to do. A good approach from very beginning is to establish a practice of how to write heading, referencing, name of species, and be consistent. Always be consistent. If you use any abbreviation in first chapter of any letter, same abbreviation use in all your thesis. Don't do like that. First chapter you have different abbreviations, second chapter you have different abbreviations. Okay, must be consistent with your thought. This will help you save time and importantly lead to a better overall assessment of your final work. Okay, dear, thank you so much. I hope all of you enjoy, and all of you have to write a good synopsis before visit to your supervisor or presenting your title defense, or you have to send for your any postgraduate admission. Okay, thank you guys. It is request that please subscribe our channel and keep watching us. We will make a different video for you to expertise in the advanced research methodology course. Take care.